You just had to be there in 2014 when Caesar said no for the first time. What's up, Flick fans? Welcome back to the channel. We're talking Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Apes, together, strong!
I hope my daughter's not sleeping. Let's talk about this fourth movie in a spectacular franchise. I need your thoughts down below. What's the best Planet of the Apes movie, and should I do a ranking in short form? We just love short form content.
You're really weird.
Are you familiar with the concept of evolution?
Many years after the reign of Caesar, a young ape goes on a journey that would lead him to question everything he's been taught about his past and make choices that will define a future for apes and humans alike. This is rated PG-13 for intense sequences of violence and sci-fi action, and it's 2 hours and 25 minutes. I think that's the longest in the quadrilogy. It's not a trilogy anymore. That's sad.
Oh, boo-hoo!
Then I was nervous. I really enjoyed Rise. When Matt Reeves took over, Dawn was something special. Truly one of the greatest sequels of all time. And in my opinion, War did a lot. It wasn't as action-packed as people wanted, but the themes behind that and really what that movie represented was just fantastic. So, two stellar sequels. We're passing it on to a new director many, many years in the future, generations even. And Wes Ball from the Maze Runner movies is our director, and after this, I think he's doing Legend of Zelda, so buckle up, pal, you're in for a ride. Honestly, that's where I want to start. Part of me wanted Matt Reeves back, but the other part of me is like, no, stay with Batman. Wes Ball, let's see what you got. And immediately he captured the very specific tone that Dawn and War had, and so off the bat, I'm thinking, okay, he's doing a nice job so far. Let's see how he builds these characters. And through the first hour of the movie, even though it moves at a way slower pace than something like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, you're getting to know these characters, this new crew, but most importantly, what these writers and what Wes Ball managed to do was to take the legacy of the last couple of movies and apply what Caesar represented and create an interesting story based around that. Now, he plays as like a Jesus figure to these apes, and while some don't even know what he's all about, others have taken his words and twisted it in a way that kind of benefits them and hurts other apes. But in the midst of all of this ape-on-ape nonsense, good lord, that sounded weird.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
You have what's happened to the humans over these hundreds of years, where they have slowly gotten dumber and apes have progressively gotten smarter, and now we're wondering, as an audience, are there still humans out there that are capable of thinking for themselves and maybe getting things back on track? But then another part of us, we're rooting for the apes. We're like, go apes, you're awesome. Especially this clan that we're with in the beginning. Things seem to be running smoothly. Noah, our main character, he's out on this adventure with his companions trying to impress his father, and I really like the way that things are ran with this group. That's basically what the first act is all about. It's got some conventions in there, right? The apes aren't allowed to go outside the boundaries. We don't know what's out there. Some of Caesar's teachings were not taught, so a lot of these apes are oblivious to kind of what goes on in the outside world, and even why they are there in the first place, what happened with humans. They don't even call them humans, so we spend time getting to know the circumstances of their situation, and I was okay with it. I really liked growing with these characters, and then when chaos happens and they encounter this human, but beyond that, more apes outside of their little ape crew, the little cute group.
What do you mean by that?
That's when the adventure starts. It's not even necessarily when the pacing picks up, but I was really intrigued from that point on, and the intensity slowly grows to the point where you get in the third act and you're like, okay, now it's going down. When we meet Proximus Caesar, Austin, who is that? Well, again, taking Caesar's teachings and the idea of him, but kind of twisting it in a way to where it's not benefiting the good apes. And Noah, our main ape, played by Owen Teague, who does a really great job of providing us an extremely likable main character. Not on the incredible level of Caesar, but I feel like he could grow into that, kind of like Caesar grew into who he was in Dawn. So that was cool. Raka is a great, I mean, just an amazing character. Like, that's the point where I really locked in and resonated with a lot of the things that they were saying and forming this very unconventional group with our human character in May.
It's gonna be May.
Freya Allen plays May. There are some things going on with her that they didn't quite explore to the level that I wanted them to. And in terms of all of the characters that we are with, funny enough, the main human character is the one that is explored and fleshed out the least. I understand why they did that because there's so much else we have to focus on in this film, but I really did want to know more about her. And by the time we get to the end, there are some decisions that she makes and some things that she does. I mean, really in the final scene that we see her, I'm like, why did she do that? Why did she make that decision? So I was very curious why we didn't get more from that. Maybe it's the writing, and I did kind of need more from that performance, but again, it's her and then a bunch of motion captures, so I can forgive that to a degree, but the next movie has to do a better job of fleshing her out, as well as some of the ideals. So they're really going for some thematic things in this movie, like they did and accomplished with War. They don't quite hit the same mark, and it doesn't get to the same level in this film, but I appreciate the attempt, and certain characters do a great job of conveying that to us. I was locked in with our heroes and then the opposition, what they're going up against. It's the first movie in what I hope to be a new trilogy, so there's a lot of setup that they're doing, and it all comes down to, are you interested in that setup? Do you care, or do you just want to get into the crazy stuff, which I think will happen in the next film? But I really enjoyed getting to know these characters, and then Noah learning, having a really nice character arc in this film. One of the better fleshed out main characters of the year, and he's an ape, so it's pretty impressive. So my main complaints here: the pacing in the first hour of the film, not everyone's going to be on board for that, and I do wish it moved a bit quicker, but really enjoyed getting to know these characters. The score, while epic, it's not on the level of Michael Giacchino's score, and I did feel like I needed more emotion from certain moments. There's one really impactful moment in the middle of the movie that could have been even more emotional if that score would have hit me in the way that the last one did. They carry over notes, which is great, but I was kind of missing that oomph factor from that. Now, visually, do I have to say anything? I mean, look, people may be expecting a huge step up from War, and it's not a huge step up because War already was just the best looking movie of that year and really that decade, or at least one of them, right? This is better. It's not a crazy amount of better, but these movies consistently get better and look better to where I'm sitting there at the end of the movie. I know we have Avatar and we have these visual spectacles, but I at least want to put this film in that conversation of, I felt like I was watching real apes walking around, and this is a testament to the motion capture, to the VFX, to shooting a lot of this on location. Maybe they did some of it on sets. Regardless, it looked gorgeous, beautiful. They obviously used a little bit of blue screen in there, but I couldn't tell as much as I do other blockbusters. Don't want to call them out, but you know who I'm talking about.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
But my God, the attention to detail. There's one shot where we zoom into Noah's eye, and I'm just like, that, the fur and the that's real. That's real. That's real. Y'all went to the zoo. Don't lie to me. You got a real animal. I know what you're doing. You're trying to confuse me, and guess what? It's not working. That's a real monkey.
The monkey!
The fact that this is already on this level of quality, I'm like, man, did it do a better job of setting up a new trilogy than Rise did? That's something to think about when I rank these movies. But yeah, it's on the same level. I know we transferred directors and some different people involved, but it is on the same level of quality. I didn't expect that. I was excited for this, but I'm like, let's see, with a new crew several years later, whatever. No, they did a great job of getting me invested, giving me interesting characters. I really enjoyed this journey, and they're setting up crazy things to come, man. Some shots at the end, I'm like, oh, what are they doing? Are they doing what I think they're doing?
I know that ain't who I think it is.
Oh, and another actor shout out. Kevin Durand as Proximus Caesar. This guy is having a year. Justin, Abigail, and now providing another great villain. Lots of villainous excellence to live up to in these movies after Koba, but he did a really nice job. And I guess after Woody Harrelson, who was also good. I'm about to give you my score. Before I do that, get in that comment section. Let me know, are you excited for this? When are you seeing it this weekend? What format are you seeing it in? I saw it in IMAX. It was absolutely amazing. And when you see it, come back. Let me know your thoughts. And take a second, drop that like. That would mean the world. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is yet another magnificent sequel. Wes Ball maintains the epic feel of the first three, but there's a different flow to this story now that we have a new set of characters to root for. While it takes a bit to get going, the payoff feels earned, and the finale is insanely entertaining. This is a visual feast for the eyes. I really dug this movie, and I feel as if this trilogy will keep getting better. Work out a couple of those nitpicks that I had here, but in terms of getting this started and learning about these characters, excellent job. Wes Ball, Legend of Zelda next, or come back and do more Apes movies. Whatever you want to do, pal. I trust you at this point. You all are the best. Stay tuned, some awesome Netflix reviews, and this weekend, we might be talking some early Oscar predictions, Furiosa, soon.